Okay, to start things off is one of my all-time favorite openings. Enjoy. Is an anime I watched as a kid on Toonami. It's something I really wanted to see when I got home from school, and somehow I got out of sync with it a little bit into the Tagoro arc near the end. So I wasn't able to finish it at the time because I wanted to watch it with my brother because it was a thing we did. So over the next decade, we gradually watched more and more of it. We get videos from Netflix, we'd find stuff at our local library would have it, and then we finished up by watching it on the internet. So throughout the decade, we watched it in various formats. And I enjoyed the overall process, and it was one of the more unique anime experiences I've ever had. And this show, for the most part, has lived up to that experience. It has flaws, but it is one of my all-time favorite anime. And as you can see from that intro, I really like that opening. Even if it doesn't really showcase everything that made the anime really good, just the opening, I just really like the song. The English one I actually like better than the Japanese one, which is kind of rare sometimes. Yusuke is a street punk, but he's also a good character, very serviceable for how the story goes, and he has a very good natural progression to the story's conclusion. He has sidekicks like Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama. Personally, Kurama's my favorite character, even though he only gets like one or two good fights, and that kind of annoys me. But Hiei is pretty much considered one of the ultimate badass characters in anime, and Kuwabara is considered one of the clumsiest oafs who lucks his way into victories. And he's one of those lovable buffoons, and anytime I see someone with that hairstyle, I just go, hey, they stole that look from Kuwabara. It's just the four main heroes are just tons of fun. They contrast each other great, and their banter is hilarious. The other side characters like Kuema and Yusuke's girlfriend and Keiko are just really. Where's Keiko? Yeah, whatever. Other side characters, Kuema's assistant, the ogre, and the blue-haired chick whose name I can't really remember. They're all fun. They have good banter, though sometimes they can take away from the story a little bit. Kuwabara's sister is actually pretty interesting. Yusuke's mother should probably have gotten more development, but whatever. Like I said, I really like the side characters. They are really good in serviceable story. Enemies that become friends, those are good side characters as well. As for the villains in this show, I really like up to Tagoro. And after that, I think the villains kind of fell off in quality. Um, there was Hiei as a villain and Kurama as a sort of villain, along with their brute of a sidekick. I'm just gonna call him a sidekick. There was a villain after that whose name escapes me, but was built up as a badass, and it was mostly a badass. He lost in hilarious fashion. The Saint Beast is one of my favorite anime arcs, and then there's that entire tournament arc with the Tagoro brothers, and it's just fantastic. But after that, I think I didn't like Sensui as a villain. I didn't really find him interesting, and I didn't really find his kind of subordinates interesting, other than the doctor. And the bullseye guy would have been more interesting to say if he talked more or if he didn't go out like a bitch. I just felt like the entire Sensui arc was mostly rather bleh. Especially what they had Kurama doing just didn't really blow out to me. What they pulled their ass with Yusuke made the fight more entertaining with Sensui, but didn't really do much for me at the time. The arc after that, the Demon Lord's arc, I really love the beginning of it, and then once it goes into what it does, it's fine and all. It's just not what I was hoping for. It feels like the entire thing was rushed, and apparently it wasn't the manga. It was just seemed like the dude was wanting to finish it. And the anime does end, and it ends on a good note. Them looking at that sunset, it's just perfect ending for me for that anime. Even if I felt like after the Goro arc, it started to sputter in quality. and I didn't. Most people have Sensui at the top of their near the top of their villains list, and I think he's pretty shit. The multiple personality thing was interesting, but that was about it. As for the fighting in this anime, it's really good. Sometimes, other times it can be a bit of a Dragon Ball Z ripoff, but that's more later. But I really like the fighting. It has some of the best fights I've ever seen in anime, which it's from the guy who wrote Hunter x Hunter as well. So that's not really shocking. And a lot of these fights are really good. Personal tell good stories. Some are hilarious. Some are just really bad. But like overall, this like a wide array, and you'll find something that entertains you in all these fights. Like some could be disappointing, but some can surprise you. It's just a good variety, even if some are bad. Um, this, like I said, the story I found really good up to the Gore arc. Kind of dips during that Sensui arc, picks back up during the Demon Lord arc. Even if it kind of stutters a little bit, it still has a good conclusion. Um, the music, I like the opening, and I like almost all the music. The abilities are good. I almost forgot Genkai. One of the best old lady characters in anime, and I'd probably get my ass kicked for calling her old lady. But good thing she doesn't exist. I hope. But anyway, I completely forgot about her. I was a disservice. Genkai is awesome. Sorry, Genkai. And she has really awesome fights in the anime as well. And her backstory is really interesting. Just other than that, I just say this anime definitely earns its place at number 19. Its flaws hold it back for me, but I just had such a unique viewing experience with how long I wasn't able to stretch it out unintentionally most of the time, but it still was interesting to have it stretched out for that long for me, especially since it kind of ended like a decade before I finished it. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say, but later.